How's life?
Same shit, different pile.
Everybody down!
On the ground! Now! Get the hell down!
Hands wide concealed!
Open the register!
What's the matter? You deaf? Hey, I said get down.
You know if you shoot me in the stomach, my chances of surviving go up, right?
Shoot him!
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on,
Shoot
come on.
him!
Don't make me do this myself. Send me home!
You're fucking crazy.
No, I'm crazy, man. Patient.
I know.
Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot! Keep the change.
The film begins with John Falcon Chapman, a former Marine, seated in front of shot glasses with bullets in them. He yells out the names of his fallen companions before coming to a stop on a shot glass containing 2 bullets. He pours his whiskey into the glass and swallows it, then reveals a revolver nearby. He loads the 2 bullets into the chamber and raises his salute, intending to commit suicide. But the gun fails. He bitterly tells himself that this is not his week to die. He decides to slowly murder himself and goes to a corner store to get more death in a bottle. Suddenly, 2 guys burst into the store and order everyone out. Falcon continues to browse, and the perplexed goon must pique his interest. Falcon sees another opportunity and continues to encourage the man to strive higher if he wants to end his life. The man is at a loss for words, and Falcon, enraged by his indecision, knocks him unconscious. The other man tries to assault, but Falcon effortlessly knocks him down. He then goes through the goon's pockets and pays for his whiskey with cash register money. That night, Falcon is suffering from PTSD and has flashbacks to his missions in the Middle East. He tries to divert himself with a hard workout, but the trauma overwhelms him, and he punches a hole in the wall. The next morning, Falcon is awakened by a banging on the door and tries to ignore it, only to discover that it is his sister, Cindy. She blames him for forgetting she was supposed to be in town for a wedding and left her stranded at the airport. She forgives him anyhow, and they hug it out. Later, they go out to dinner and catch up on old memories. Cindy is concerned about Falcon, who insists he is doing well. She inquires about his meds, and he flashes a medicine case, but Cindy knows better and snatches the case, exposing that they are simply mints. Falcon then reveals that his medications make him mentally weak. He inquires about her charitable work in Brazil's slums, concerned for her safety, but Cindy assures him that she is okay, even implying that she will return tomorrow. The next morning, Cindy is packed and ready to leave when she discovers Falcon asleep on the couch. She kisses him farewell and leaves, wishing him the best. In Brazil, we meet 2 officers prepared to go on patrol through the market when a young girl alerts them to an event. The 2 officers proceed to the coastline, where a mob has gathered around Cindy's bruised and bloodied body, which turns out to be alive. Some criminals stand nearby, staring coldly. Rio Detective Santo and Carlo pay Vice Consul Ridley a visit at the United States Consulate in Rio. Santo shows Ridley Cindy's file, and he quickly recognizes her. He wonders who would do this, but Santo says it could be anyone from the slums. Falcon is at home when he receives a phone call regarding his sister's horrifying attack, and he immediately leaves. Back in Rio, the 2 officers are distributing sodas to a crowd in the street. When they hear gunshots in the distance, they run towards them. Meanwhile, Santo and Carlo, along with their team, catch the suspects and discover a crate containing weapons. The 2 cops arrive late, and Santo recognizes Caterina, a female officer. He chastises her for attempting to undertake social work while crime runs rampant in her territory. He warns her that due to Cindy's attack, he will take control when a rock is thrown, resulting in a standoff with criminals and cops with firearms everywhere. Realizing he is outgunned, Santo suggests a street fight between his best fighter and theirs. If the gangsters prevail, Santo swears to return their guns and never return. The gangsters agree, and Carlo proves to be Santo's greatest fighter, boldly encouraging the other opponent to go forward. The man attacks, but Carlo appears to be playing with him. He tries again, but this time Carlo proceeds to knock him down before ending him with a lethal kick to the head. Santo offers to remain a regular visitor to their neighborhood until they figure out who killed Cindy. He goes after encouraging Katerina to remember which side she is on. Falcon lands in Brazil and meets Ridley, who happens to be a former Marine who served alongside Falcon. Falcon wastes no time and goes straight to see his sister. He is taken aback when he sees Cindy, who is unrecognizable due to her injuries and is barely alive. Santo stops by and introduces himself, offering to find her assailants. He suspects a heist and says they're looking into known crooks. John refuses to rest and begs to be transported to where Cindy was discovered. Santo drives Falcon through the favelas before taking him to meet Katerina. There is an explosion, and Falcon gets her gun and prepares to take action, but it turns out to be a car backfiring. Gangsters gather around him, preparing to fire, but Santo encourages them to calm down. Santo then leaves Falcon with Katerina, who brings him to the location where Cindy was discovered. He realizes the place is open and gangsters are hanging out nearby, which makes him wonder why Katerina has no witnesses. She tells him it's tricky and shows him a hospital that the dealers truly pay for and how they care for the inhabitants, explaining why no one speaks. Falcon returns to the hospital to witness an Asian nurse provide Cindy's medications before departing. Cindy experiences convulsions shortly after settling in. Falcon flees the room and demands that the personnel attend to her, only to discover that no Asian nurse was assigned to her room. Later, Ridley and Santo stop over to ask Falcon if he truly saw an Asian nurse, but he persists. He then insists that Cindy's room be protected at all times, which they agree to. The next day, Falcon returns to the crime scene and sees the same group of gangsters nearby. One of them begins walking, and Falcon pursues him, shouting for him to halt.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Where'd you get that necklace? Where did you get the necklace?
Katerina intervenes, holding Falcon at gunpoint and demanding that he release the man. Katerina then identifies the man as Kuka, Cindy's co-worker whose sister was also killed a few days ago. The man then shows Falcon a photo of his sister, and Falcon apologizes for the attack. The man then hands Falcon Cindy's notebook, and Falcon instructs him to keep the necklace. Katerina then informs Falcon about a recent rash of missing children in the favelas, and Cindy's attack may be tied to them. A woman watches the two drive away and makes a phone call. That night, Falcon is sitting alone in a bar, drinking, and receives the check. He has an idea and uses the carbon paper to expose the impression of a shredded page from Cindy's notebook, revealing her final appointment. When he contacts the number, a man named Bruno answers and requests to meet. The man appears concerned, but provides Falcon a location to meet him in daylight. Falcon encounters Bruno the next day, who was Cindy's photographer and has been hiding since hearing about her assault. Bruno informs Falcon that Cindy was investigating the disappearance of the young girls in the favela. She had scheduled a meeting with someone who may reveal the conspiracy, and she had Bruno hide and take photos of the meeting, which he handed Cindy prior to her attack. He refuses to give Falcon the copies, claiming that they are his insurance, unwittingly implying that the images are in his top pocket. Before leaving, Falcon pretends to hug him and thank him for being Cindy's friend before stealing a flash drive from him. Bruno is killed when his automobile explodes as he gets in. Nearby, John finds the same nurse from Cindy's room and pursues her, but she escapes into a waiting car. Suddenly, a mobster van pulls up and shoots Falcon. He takes the gun of a dead guard and returns fire, hitting two men and drives them away. Falcon brings the flash disc to Ridley, who discovers who Cindy was meeting with. Falcon recalls the tattoos of the men who shot at him, and Ridley believes they may be Yakuza. Falcon is then able to decipher a clue in the pictures, the name of a neighboring nightclub, Kronos. Ridley then insists on having Falcon as his backup. Falcon enters the full nightclub and recognizes the man Cindy was meeting with, who turns out to be the DJ. There are guards nearby, so Falcon waits until the DJ exits the booth and goes to the restroom. One guard is keeping watch, but a quick kick to the head knocks him down quietly. Falcon confronts the man in the restroom and shows him a picture of Cindy, but he refuses to speak. Falcon then places him face down in a toilet bowl till he confesses. He tells Falcon that he performed smuggling. Cindy discovered this and questioned him about it, but he did not hurt her. His customer, however, had men monitoring and was the one who hurt her. He gives Falcon the location of his client, and Falcon grabs his briefcase and departs. Later, we see Santo instructing his crew, showing them photos of notorious criminals involved in people smuggling and telling them to execute everyone without hesitation. Falcon and Ridley are on their way to the destination when he opens the bag to show shipment documentation, but Ridley notes that the documents are forgeries. Santo and his team arrive in the favelas and begin hunting down the criminals, ruthlessly killing them when they attempt to fight back or flee. Ridley and Falcon arrive at their destination, which turns out to be a high-end brothel. Falcon comes alone, carrying the briefcase, and searches around for the owner. One man sees him and calls upstairs to the Asian woman named Tomo. She finds Falcon at the bar and tells her man to deal with him. One soldier approaches Falcon and leads him to a balcony. When he looks over, he notices guys pulling young girls out of a vehicle and even recognizes Kuka's sister. The guard immediately attacks, but Falcon dodges and kills him. He searches and discovers the females gathered in a room, but guards arrive and begin looking for him. Santo's guys are still mowing down the gangsters when one of them spots men loading ladies into a truck. He kills one man and subdues the other, then reports his findings to Santo. Santo and Carlo arrive at the scene, but Santo kills the officer, takes the gun, and returns it to the criminal. He then calls Tomo directly, revealing that he killed everyone Cindy spoke with, and arranges to collect his reward. Back at the villa, a guard discovers his fallen friend and reports it to Tomo, who mobilizes all of her men. She then phones her boss, Hiramoto, the leader of the Yakuza, who instructs them to kill Cindy. Hiramoto then contacts Santo and instructs them to take care of Falcon. The DJ stands before Hiramoto and apologizes for losing the shipping manifests, but Hiramoto demands no excuses. He approaches the DJ and takes out a katana, expressing his fondness for the weapon. He then fatally stabs the man before coldly polishing his blade. Back at the villa, the guards catch up with and surround Falcon. Santo and Carlo approach and hold him at gunpoint, but Katerina also appears. Falcon informs them about Kuka's sister and the other girls, but the room turns out to be empty. He shows them the fake shipping manifests and concludes that the Yakuza are attempting to ship the females. Santo instructs him to hand up the DJ's briefcase so that they can investigate, and Falcon obeys, trusting him. As Falcon departs, he wonders how Santo knew who owned the bag and assigns Katerina to check on his sister. Katerina's on her way to the hospital. Meanwhile, Tomo has already come and entered Cindy's room. She attempts to withdraw her life support, but Katerina shoots her and orders her to put her hands behind her back. Santo and Carlo take the suitcase to a Yakuza-controlled shipping yard, unknowing that they are carrying Falcon, who kills a nearby guard. He notices the ladies being relocated and calls Ridley, instructing him to show there with backup. Hiramoto and his men hear gunfire on the docks, so he orders them all to investigate and draws his katana, preparing to join the fight. The men begin searching the building for Falcon, who begins shooting the men after snatching a gun. He works his way through the warehouse, narrowly missing being shot while taking out all of the thugs. Santo and Carlo are on his track and begin exchanging bullets. Falcon, on the other hand, manages to crush Santo under containers before being attacked by Carlo.
put up a better fight than your sister.
Falcon then grabs a gun and stands over Santo, who is dying. He gives Falcon the key to his locker, which contains files on everyone Hiromoto has bribed within the government. He laments the path he followed in life, and Falcon gives him a gun so he can finish things on his own terms. The remaining gangsters are apprehended, and Kuka's sister, and the other females are saved. A week later, when Cindy awakens, Falcon is sitting by her bedside, and she looks at him before falling back asleep. The doctor informs him about her injuries and that she may not be able to function normally for many years. Falcon subsequently sees Ridley, who applauds him for bringing down the smuggling network. Ridley then offers Falcon a job with the government as a method to acquire better care for Cindy, which he accepts and begins his first assignment. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.